and welcome to this episode of Destiny 2. This episode is a continuation of episode 11, but not on the same day. Like I said last episode, it was 2 a.m., so I went to bed. It's actually 2 days after that, even though I'm going to post all of these episodes because I might have a third part, I don't know, because I do really want to get through this week, hopefully, and then spread out the next couple campaigns, different things like that. But this episode, I'm going to knock that out and just have fun. Hopefully I can actually get a whole lot of this shit done. I'm going to be using the same build, and part of the reason why I really want to get this shit done is because once I can do the legendary campaign, I can max out Rahul a whole lot faster and get that stasis exotic. And I also really want stasis to be able to use that stasis exotic that I showed last episode. And just to refresh y'all's memory, if you really need it, it is that exotic there, which, if how I'm wanting to build into it actually works, should be kind of, if it does work, it should be kind of fucking busted. This game is so fucking gorgeous. I cannot wait to do the Lightfall campaign. Why did I not go up that ramp? There we go. Or not the Lightfall. The Lightfall campaign is also very gorgeous, but it's the Final Shape campaign specifically. That is just Alice in Wonderland mixed with nightmare-esque, just horrible, scary shit at the same time. Where's the thing? It's a... I could have gone another way, but that way was fun. Give me 1 second. I forgot to turn off the back fan behind my console.
Aramis met Praxis in prison. Yes. Each day they spoke through the walls of their cells, dreaming of a new world. His research gave Vivixni the ability to draw power from the splinters. Be careful, friend. Kill Praxis, and Aramis will no longer be able to empower her followers with darkness. Interlopers, mappers, extraneous variables. But perhaps I can make use of you. Your kind make compelling test subjects. Let us run a test. Initiating defense protocol nearby.
It is disturbing how many species actually agree that the Guardian species, because they are kind of a different species, is a very good test subject. It's kind of disturbing. And to be honest, if something was truly immortal, could never actually die at all, it would be an amazing test subject. Because you could test literally anything and everything. Like for an example, if my guardian was a Laura, or okay, my guardian, my Titan specifically, would be a gunsmith out the ass, and he would test his weapons on himself. Because what's better to test on than a subject that can actually say what the reaction is, how much damage you could do, different things like that.
Troubling. Embarrassing. I must keep this from Aramis. The data must be clean.
Okay, I can do this easily on my Titan! Whew! And through here. Hell yeah! I can do it so much easier on my Titan, but I will take that. And by so much easier, I mean I can literally just jump twice through there instead of having to do those loop-de-loops. Strafe lift is one hell of a lift. I can just outrun. I can just outrun. Fuck your slow minds, bitch! Ho! Oh, that worked fucking beautifully. Hell yeah! Fuck yeah! And keep in mind, I move better on my Titan. This is just me getting good at Hunter movement. Titan movement, is my personal opinion, is so much better. Whoo! I live. And part of the reason why I say it's so much better is because jumps like this, you can land directly on them, even though you want to jump twice, kind of thing. Like, you can guarantee exactly where you want to be with strafe lift. Like, exactly where you want to be, which is incredibly handy for a very up-close and personal and just very overall soldier-esque type of playstyle, where you can be literally anywhere you want. Sure, you can prioritize getting close in getting up close to somebody's face, but you can also prioritize getting farther away. Like, you can do so many crazy things with strafe lift alone. And the other lifts are very good. In my personal opinion, strafe lift is the best because of the overall versatility of it. Okay, I've talked about previously how I absolutely love Nuke Titan to get from point A to point B. This is one of the areas I love to just fly through. I remember correctly, you can actually... I don't think you can go straight up to it. Whew! I think you can go straight up to that platform up there. I think you have to, like, double jump and, like, from here... Maybe you can go from down here, I don't know. But it's very fun to just fly around with Titan Nuke. Even though it's meant to be a high damage tool, or a damage tool nonetheless, not really high damage. It should be a little bit more because of what you're actually doing. But it's good nonetheless.
The others did not come this far. You are an outlier, Aberrant, but I can account for you.
I wonder what others actually came through here. And this is the entire mechanic of this entire boss fight. I forgot that fucker has those cold snap grenades. That is some bullshit. The Trail of Ice. Just so you know, that Trail of Ice is something he's going to do a whole lot. It is going to freeze me at least once, because that is an instant freeze. It just touches my toes once, and I'm frozen. But unlike PvP, when you're frozen in PvE, it's not a guaranteed you're dead. In PvP, it's basically guaranteed if they know what they're doing. Which is why Stasis is always very good in PvP. It was at one point fucking busted because it was, I kid you not, around double the length of being frozen than it is now. They shortened that so much. And just the overall being frozen effect is a lot easier to handle and different things like that because breaking out does less damage. All sorts of different things. That was just absolutely fucking busted. Where's the last boy? Oh, I killed them too fast. I see. But then that just means Aramis is a bad boss. Failure is just a natural thing. Trees fail sometimes at being trees. Not allowing failure is not allowing progress. Sometimes, even the bad guys just kind of understand that their boss just isn't good. But they don't want to outright say it because Aramis, if she really does not do, or if she really does not allow failure, she really does not allow success either. Because you have to crawl before you can run. You have to crawl, you have to waddle, and then you have to do also different things until you can finally run. And that's the same with literally anything. Any advancements in technology, literally anything, warfare. Think of one thing. Even musicians have to fail a whole lot to get a whole lot better.
Barracks. Praxis is down. We're finishing up here.
Good. Without Phylax and Praxis, Aramis will grow reckless, careless. Without her counsel, she is weak. She will struggle to control this new dark power.
Perfect time for us to strike. Guardian, we should get back to camp with this splinter. The stranger will be waiting.
Okay. The reason why I'm looking at this ball is because, one, this ball has to be important. Two, this ball was first time playing through this campaign, like way, way back when, was fully together, had no sparks, had no nothing. It was very good. And over time, that has actually gotten worse and worse and worse. Last time I was there, it wasn't sparking, fiery, and different things like that. That's happening. That's something.
Praxis and Phylax are dead. We must retaliate. Atrax. Critus and I can handle this. Return to the crypt and prepare the body. Aramis, we must take pause. These powers are not what we expected. I, too, am impatient, but there is wisdom in caution. Caution? Look what caution has earned us. Our enemy exploits our weakness. Now we must act. I will give these guardians the destruction they crave.
Just so you know, the one down below is actually her priest, basically. A spiritual leader, where she's the physical leader, if that makes any sense. Aramis is the physical leader. And speaking of her, I will actually go through her stuff once we actually see that. You'll see a little bit more what I'm talking about. I'm not going to spoil it, but I'm going to go through her stuff after, because her stuff is the main, or her stuff is after the main story, unlike the Moon story, where I didn't do the stuff after the main campaign. I'm going to do that because that is most of it as well. That is a good chunk of it. But I will not be going through all the exotic quests and different things like that, because that's something you can do on your own time. Very similarly to the getting rid of the ghosts on the moon, that is just something you can do on your own time because it's very nitpicky. I think is the best way to put it. If I am ever able to make an exotic, I want to make an exotic skimmer. Like like the skimmer equivalent of no always on time, I think is what it's called. One second, I forget exactly what it's called, but I remember the season. I'm sorry. This exotic sparrow is incredibly useful. That ships there's that. Farther down, still farther. I think it's around here. There we go. Always on time. Always on time. That one. That mod, that's the only Sparrow that has that mod, and that mod is fucking busted. I'm not at all saying that I'm wanting to put that on a skimmer. That's not what the skimmer needs. I think the skimmer should have, okay, I think the exotic skimmer should be more what the skimmer is. It's a flying, high movement type of thing. I don't know what exactly it would be. I would want to talk to Bungie themselves to think about something like that, because that is a very fine-tuned thing, like Always on Time is. And I do think that a exotic skimmer, like what I'm talking about, should be a reward like Always on Time was, which, okay, if you didn't know, Always on Time is the only sparrow you can buy from the Monument of Lost Light in the tower. That Monument of Lost Light is how you buy old exotics, like from different campaigns, different things like that. You can also buy old raid exotics. The reason why I'm talking about this is because the old raid exotic, Always on Time, actually takes raid exotic materials because of how, raid exotic materials because of how fucking busted it is. Because that sounds not that handy. They literally cannot shoot you if you're driving properly. It is absolutely busted, and the raid it was in is now sunset, which is something they can bring back later. But that entire raid needed that sparrow. But it's kind of funny how there was a reward from that raid that is based on RNG, which is just kind of funny overall. And I never once did that raid, just so you know. I just bought it from Monument of Lost Light. It's actually the first raid exotic I bought.
Guardian, I don't even know where to begin. It seems every day I'm listen to this. But that's not why I came here. The Vanguard has been watching Eramis, and I have important intel for you. You've clearly disrupted Eramis's plans. Vanguard scouts report that she's fled to the Cosmodrome, perhaps to loot the remains of the old House Devil's hideouts. Her plan is unclear, but I believe she's getting desperate. Go to Earth, find out what her next move is. And Guardian, I understand what you're doing, fighting fire with fire. But the darkness is not our friend. The darkness caused the collapse. By all accounts, it seeks to cause another. Don't let it lead you away from the light. The city needs you. I need you. For now, do what you must for the good of humanity. But
What was I gonna say? The reason, okay, something kind of cool. This expansion synced up with the Cosmodrome being introduced again, because the Cosmodrome wasn't actually a thing for the longest time. This was, though. With that said, it also, what about this? The reason why he was saying that the darkness is the one that caused the collapse that made the last city is, and technically that city wasn't actually a thing when the collapse happened. It was made a long time after that, but still. The reason why Earth overall is not really inhabited by humans, except for little people here, or not little people here and there in little settlements, is because of the collapse. But the collapse was not actually caused by the darkness specifically. At this time period, we did not know exactly what caused it. We had theories, concepts, but never an actual name or anything like that. We knew the darkness was part of it, but never if that was the direct reason. nowadays we know directly what did it. It was them who are the witness, and I do mean them because they are actually a amalgamation. They are multiple consciousness mixed together, which is pretty fucking entertaining. And what I talked about last episode, or the episode before that, of the dissenters, they're all mixed into that. And it's fucking cool how the story has progressed, which is why I want to do this all chronologically, even though I'm talking about later things. Just, this shit is fucking cool.
Status. Wonder if I should move the camp.
I was just making sure if I had to only kill him in the divide. Where is the divide? Oh, okay. A trick with driving a sparrow and a skimmer with a controller through places like this, don't actually use your move joystick, because the boost itself will actually propel you forward. Just look. The reason why I destroyed all those, because typically when there's something destructible like that, destroying it gives you extra shit. Okay. If I did not do that slide uppercut there, I would have actually gotten squished. I am glad I did that. Ah, fuck, press the wrong button. If I jumped there, I would have made it. But I'm not gonna waste time. Oopsie daisy.
Varix, we figured out what Aramis was doing in the Cosmodrome. It's the House of Devils, or what's left of them. She called for reinforcements.
Of course. The devils will follow Aramis's every command. And there are many left yet.
We've tracked them to an old factory.
Do not allow them to reach Europa.
We're on it. Varix, Aramis was planning on flooding Europa with spider tanks. We dealt with the ones in charge.
Yes, our comms buzz with chatter. Word of your success has already reached Europa. Aramis is most unpleased. She intends to react with another set of reinforcements. The Vex.
The Vex? How?
Europa holds yet another dark secret. A portal built by Clovis Prey, leading directly to the Vex. Aramis intends to activate it.
She needs to be stopped. We're on our way. Varix, we're here. Heading in after Aramis now.
The portal within. It was built in your golden age to study Vex. But Vex escaped. Murdered many. You must hurry. Devastation is all we face if Aramis opens that portal.
We're on it.
Hello, Aramis, you must not do this. Do you not care for our people?
Far more than you know, traitor.
The reason why I looked through all of that is because both of those builds I just showed off use the same basic powered melee. So I wanted to see if there was a better one for this build specifically. Ow. I think there is. I think that melee works.
Tell me, Barracks, was it not you that tortured and murdered Elixni in the prison of elders?
Varix is.
Yes. At least here they die for a cause.
You are a monster if you do this.
I'm no monster. What I do for the future of our people.
Open that portal and you kill them all.
Many will die, yes, but more shall live.
One of the many changes this episode was that auto-loading holster, which is on my grenade launcher, has a second longer of a cooldown. I am not good with that second longer of a cooldown, but that second longer of a cooldown actually was kind of needed. Some weapons were just better with it, some weapons weren't. Every weapon, in my personal opinion, is better with auto-loading holster, especially if it's a special weapon, because you can easily just swap to your primary and do what you want to.
Died, Barracks. Do you recall? We were absolutely powerless to stop it. I tried everything to put it behind me, to move on. But in my head, I could not silence the collective cries of our injured and dying. But then, darkness presented itself, and I took it. Finally, Barracks. Finally, I felt I could do something. So go ahead. Call me a monster. But do not doubt that what I do for the future of our people.
Multiple things. One, going back to what I was saying, auto-loading holster was just kind of busted in my personal opinion. It was just too good. With that 1 second increase, it's actually a lot better. Why did that one jump off?
Aramis has always been brash, but this is different. The darkness pervades her mind and spirit.
We'll stop her, Barracks. We have to.
And the second bit there is Aramis has always done that, which is why this episode I actually trust her. I'm not doing that with you. Fuck you. People like him are why Bungie is making solo ops. Because I really do not like it how people play an MMO like a solo player game. It's genuinely annoying. Like, I intentionally let a lot of groups of enemies live, like I'm running past these guys to let them have more things to kill. Just having fun and playing with people is what Destiny's about. Most people don't even play Destiny. Like, a lot of the time people talk about how there is God rules and different things like that, when there really isn't. Like, that is like the major thing people talk about. And that is majorly just wrong. If you play Destiny at all, you understand what I'm talking about. And what I'm talking about, because a lot of people don't play Destiny, is that every single gun has so many different roles. Every single gun can, like, okay, how to put this? You can play however you want. Every single weapon can be good depending on what you're doing. Like, for an example, pulse rifles, what he's using, can be used at close quarters if you really want to and you know how to do it. And with the random rolls of a lot of different weapons, there's so many different rolls that can be good and can be used in different ways. So saying one roll's better above all else is just wrong.
This time, I made you into one of my own.
There she is.
Unfortunately, you're too late. I'll just have to eviscerate you another day. If you make it out alive.
Or it's on.
Well, okay then.
Ours was a world of prosperity and peace, not unlike your golden age. We worshipped the great machine, but fate intervened. With it came a whirlwind of destruction. In the chaos, the great machine fled, abandoning us all. Aramis, like most, was left consumed with rage. In the wake of loss, Aramis rebuilt a life, found new family, one forged from anger. Aramis saw only destruction of that which abandoned us. Varric's fears for Elixni lives. At the command of Aramis, they will meet their end. We all do. We must all make choices. Aramis chose herself over her people. If Aramis is to succeed, the great machine and all who follow it will meet their
but that in itself is not bad. Like the darkness and the witness has said a whole lot. Sorry, I'm chewing on a coffee caramel, but hope it's not that audible. The darkness is not bad because it is correct. With constant life, there's constant struggle and pain.
In another life, we may have been allies, but instead, you put us at odds. So I have no choice but to use darkness to rip, shred, and tear through every single one of your kind.
We won't let you.
And with that said, neither side is right, neither side is wrong. With pain comes growth. With growth comes so much different things. Humanity learns off of strife. Like, for an example, most of our technological breakthroughs, the phone, for an example, was multiple technological breakthroughs that mostly happened through war. If you did not know, which is absolutely insane. And like for the internet, for an example, was a soldier tool, a military tool, before it was anything else. And that's insane to think about how much struggle and strife matters to life. Like, for an example, evolution. Evolution would not happen unless there was a reason to evolve. Struggle and strife. Like, both sides are correct. And that's what I love about Destiny, where both sides are technically correct. Like, there's no, like, the Witness, for an example, is just bad, the Witness is control freak, blah, 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 but the darkness isn't necessarily wrong or bad, and the light, for an example, isn't necessarily wrong or bad. Both are correct. Both are right, kind of thing. And with all that said, I would love it at a certain point, because if you did not know, the darkness comes from the Guardian, the light comes from the Ghost. Technically, you should be able to use, without Prismatic, a subclass of darkness and a subclass of light. You should be able to use one of each, and the combinations there should be fucking beautiful, because of how you can technically power both. Because it's one and then the other, not one doing both, which is absolutely amazing to think about.
Darkness is a parasite. It burrows its way into your soul and feeds on your most selfish desires. Your every wish, tainted and twisted, as you become the very thing darkness wants you to be. In that world, there is no future for any of us. I have witnessed this firsthand. I refuse to let it happen again. So know this as you step away from the light once more. Inside us all is the strength to control darkness. We need only look inward and remember why we're here. We are humanity's final salvation.
What am I gonna say? She did not ever, I don't think she ever actually talked to the Witness, because the Witness never actually had to come here. All of her timeline chicanery happened, and it was, okay, after this. This campaign diverted everything from what she knew. After this campaign, everything was different. So, yeah, that entire thing is just fucking crazy. I need to speedrun through this very fast because my dad's actually hurting and I need to go help him. So I'm gonna just grab this, and the reason why I say I need to hurry is because he hurts a whole lot, so he can't breathe, and he's used to this, relatively speaking, which is why I'm not like, I need to go now. It's not that big of a deal. But I do want to get that, so it's done, and then I can easily go to that next video. That'll be the first thing I do next video, and with all that said, I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's day, and I'll catch you